Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, this is Boisterous coming to you with some Masters League Magnificence out of the map Entombed Valley. Spying up here in the top left-hand corner, we do have Kimbob as the red Protoss, and down in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent Omnipotent as the blue Terran. Very, very fun, exciting Masters League Magnificence TVP from Omnipotent, who, if you guys don't know, Omnipotent has a very unique way of playing TVP. He wrote a long forum post about it just a little while ago, I think back in like January, where he described this kind of Sky Terran play, and I'm very excited to see that kind of get showcased in this game, because he sent me like this folder pack and I completely forgot about it until recently, and now I'm recording out of it. And he was like, yeah, I do this awesome Sky Terran build. I was in the Forum League, the Forum Cup. I don't remember if he won his match. I think he did. I'm like 90% sure he did. And you know, he's a very interesting player, and he's very open to the community, and he tries to kind of communicate with a lot of people. So anyway, guys, in other news, as far as I go, I'm back from like a weekend off. I had kind of some familial issues to go off and deal with, but I'm back. I'm back in the schedule. I'm back here. I'm good to go. There will be a 1-goal game posted later today. There will, of course, and then it'll just be a return to normalcy. There'll be a Wednesday game, and then a Thursday 1-goal game, and then a Saturday game. And hopefully I can continue that for a little while without effing it up severely. As far as everything else goes, I am going to be applying to go to the underrated gaming league, it's like the underrated teen league, and they're kind of running a kind of high production value teen league, which I hope I can go and be a commentator for. It would be pretty cool. These guys are just having kind of an awkward conversation about maps that I've stopped paying attention to. I've actually started to train myself to not pay attention to dialogue that goes on in game, and I'm fairly proud of myself, because I used to get really, really sidetracked. And now, of course, I'm getting sidetracked with this story about how I no longer get sidetracked, but, yeah, I'll deal with that. That's the next step. The next step, I'm going to try not to sidetrack myself with stories about how I don't get sidetracked. If I can do that, I will be successful in this world. So anyway, we have both of our players going for reasonably standard builds at this point. We have Omnipotent going for a reasonably early gas. I mean, it's not out of the ordinary to go for something this early against Protoss. If you're going for some sort of early pressure builds, if you're going for like kind of 2 racks tech lab builds, you do see people go for this kind of early gas, where they can get that fast tech lab out and start building those Marauders, because Marauders do extremely well against early game Protoss. However, it looks like Omnipotent, in a weird twist, is going to be going for the factory, which again I think is going to kind of show that he's going for that really cool Sky Terran play. And I love Sky Terran. It's an awesome strategy. It's just never used because they don't have the really big capital ship that the other races either have or don't need, because Protoss, I mean, if you go Sky Toss, especially now in Heart of the Swarm, you have like the most ridiculous army just because of Void Rays. And Void Rays are quite absurdly good, along with Oracles are very good against light units, and even the Tempest has shown itself to be quite useful in the current metagame. And it looks like we have the Probe kind of scampering around the outside. He doesn't want anything to surprise him. I don't know why he's scouting the banana hallway along the other side of the map, because that's kind of weird, unless he's checking to see if anything's there, to see if he can drop something down. Oh, Kimbob, if you drop something down, you are going to be hilarious, man. It looks like we do have 3 gateways going down from Kimbob. There is no robotics facility currently on the way. And it looks like we do have Hellions producing out for Omnipotent. Interesting. It looks like he completely cut gas, actually, after going for this factory. So maybe we won't be seeing any sort of Sky Terran. Huh. Man, maybe he lied to me. Omnipotent. You dog, getting me to commentate your replays without actually doing your signature style. Well played, sir. You got me. Man, make me watch StarCraft games. It looks like we do have Kimbob moving out with a small force of gateway troops. He does have 1 and 1 at this point, but this bunker is going to finish up literally perfectly on time. And there we do have 2 Marines getting into the bunker, and they will be able to force off the forces of the Protoss player. And it's going to be very hard for the Protoss player to bust up there without without a lot more, I should say, units. It looks like the Hellions are going to be diving into the main base, but the gateways are just now transforming, so they shouldn't be able to do too much damage. I mean, they might be able to snipe off a couple probes, but they're going to lose their life doing it. Now, of course, that's pretty much worth it for most Hellions. This one, oh, it does manage to get the last 2. So if we look at the workers kill count, I mean, he did manage to take out 8 probes right there, which it's pretty good. I mean, that's worth the life of 2 Hellions, I would most definitely say. It looks like we have another 2 Hellions kind of swinging into the base. They are going to be going for a little bit of a pick-off on the Zealot, but they're only going to be able to do an amount of hull damage before they're forced off by the Stalkers. And because I can't talk, I'm going to take a sip of water. Yeah, there we go. I got all the bubbles out of my mouth. Because when I'm talking, I actually start foaming out at the mouth. And I know this is something that I wouldn't usually talk about, but there isn't a whole lot in this game going on. I mean, both players are, again, just going for the very standard TVP type builds. We do finally have the starport coming out, so I could see some level of Hellion drop, which I think would be cool. I doubt it's going to happen, but I think it would be cool. And I kind of want to see that, because, again, I think it would be cool, and I love stuff that's cool. It looks like we do have the scout on the proxy pylon going down for these 2 Hellions. Very, very nicely done. It looks like 4 Hellions are now going to be moving out across the map. These are the current survivors of the Hellion squad. Actually, whoa, there's 6 Hellions. Man, I missed 2 of them. I feel like such a fool. The starport is just about to finish up. There are no third bases going down for either player at this point. Kimbob is finally finishing up his Nexus at his natural, which is reasonably standard for a Protoss player at this level of play. I mean, Masters, you're very high level, and the Nexus goes down later, honestly, in the TVP. Now, of course, you do have the Terran player then taking a massive, massive economic advantage. I really wish that they had kind of like a resources gathered metric, because I don't think that's actually in anything. We have like income, and I guess we could add up army resources currently and like everything, but it doesn't sound quite as well. I don't know. I don't like that quite as much. I just like this. And there's a minerals tab. Why does this even exist? Wait, is this income? Yeah, that's income. All right, that's weird. All right, it's called minerals in the production tabs, and I don't know. It's just weird, and I got off on a really weird segue there. So I'm just going to continue on with the game. It looks like we do have the 6 Hellions sweeping into the main base. They're going to be able to try to do as much damage as possible, but with 3 sentries, I mean, they're with 3 sentries at Masters level, they're probably not even going to touch at all the main base. The Observer is going to be moving into the base of Omnipotent, and oh my god, the Banshee gets scouted. Ouch. Very perfectly scouted too. So we are going to see a high preparation for Cloak Banshee start coming out from Kimbob. I would not be surprised at all if that started happening, actually. It looks like we have 2 starports now on the way, but of course these starports are going to get scouted pretty easily. Oh god, Kimbob, please fly over the starports. I know you see one of them, but there's 3. There's 3 starports. That's something you kind of need to prepare for, because that's a lot. It's a lot of Banshees. That's 3 port Banshees is no joke. It looks like this Banshee is going to be able to get absolutely destroyed by the Stalker Force. It is not even going to try to cloak in there. It knows that there's something weird going on there. It knows that it's known, and if it's known, then there's observers somewhere on the map. There has to be. It looks like for the 3 starports, we do have 2 tech labs going down. So he is going up to 3 tech lab. So again, I'm just gonna say it's gonna be 3 port Banshee, maybe into a little bit of battle cruiser or cattle bruiser, but definitely gonna be 3 port Banshee, which is. It's a strategy. I mean, it's not something you see a lot in this day and age of TVP. It's just Sky Terran in general has completely fallen off from the strategy, from the metagame, and really coming back with it with 3 port Banshee is interesting, because Banshee is something that is quite easily countered by the standard Protoss builds of today, which are, you know, those kind of either Blink Stalkers on a map like this, and it looks like, oh, Kimbob actually did not go for Blink Stalkers. He went for Charge Lots. Interesting. Omnipotent might actually have a spot to, you know, duck in here. That is cool. Huh. I'm surprised to see Blink not going down, because Blink, especially at this level, is typically called the better upgrade, because it allows your Stalkers to micro just so much more efficiently against your opponent. And it looks like we do have the move out from Kimbob, but there are no observers with the main army. And if Omnipotent figures that one out, I mean, it's going to be a slaughter. It looks like 1 observer is going to be flying into the main base right now. But honestly, Kimbob is not going to be able to force the engagement here, because Omnipotent just has such a bigger army. And he just has a better economy, especially with this 3rd base now. And the 3rd is even a planetary fortress, because honestly, if you know you're that far ahead, you should just be trying to hold him off. You shouldn't be going for anything super risky like a 3rd orbital or 4th orbital. You should just be going for that 3rd planetary fortress, because you're already a base ahead. You don't really need the orbital to extend your lead anymore. It looks like we do have a command center going down here, so this might turn into an orbital. It might flow over and become a base over here. It's kind of hard to say this early in the game. It looks like a small push out from the Terran force is going to be able to push, just absolutely push the Protoss player back to his base, which isn't the situation any Protoss player really wants to be in. It's just kind of a situation you get stuck in sometimes. And it looks like there are High Templar now finishing off. There is no Storm currently in research. He's probably just waiting for that 200 gas, and then he'll start researching it right away, because Storm is a very, very important upgrade when you're facing against Bio. And we officially have 5-port Banshee. That's a crap ton of Banshees. Oh my god, so many Banshees. Oh, there's 4 Banshees. There's currently 4 Banshees in the main base. There's 8 Banshees in total on the map. And that's a crap ton of Banshees, especially when your opponent's going charge lots, because charge lots are not that good against Banshees. I mean, I'm sure most of you guys know that, but like, I need to emphasize that a little bit more. Charge lots are really, 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 really not that good against Banshees. You do not want to play with charge lots versus Banshees, because charge lots, no matter how hard they tried, they cannot charge in air. You know, they give it a valiant effort, they do their best, but they just can't do it. It looks like we are going to see the snipe on the cybernetics core, and that is going to be very important to this Protoss base, because without it, there are no more stalkers, and there are not that many stalkers in this army right now. And oh my god, the cybernetics core does get sniped, and that is going to be a big detriment to this Protoss force. I could see the Terran pushing out across the map and just winning right now, because if we look at the units tab, I mean, there's only 9 stalkers. God, ouch. That kind of sucks to be Kimbob. I mean, this could be a game that literally ends because of one tiny, tiny silly decision of letting a cybernetics core get sniped like that, because you need a cybernetics core at a point like this. He does have a lot of High Templar on the way. He is going up to 4, but even with really, really perfect storms, and I doubt he's going to get every perfect storm, and I doubt that Omnipotent is going to sit there. I mean, it's just going to be, it's a hard engagement to take, especially when you go so heavily into the charge lots, because there's just too many Banshees. As soon as you see those 3 starports, you need to start making more stalkers, because you're gonna play the defenseman like no matter what at a point like that, because it's hard to move out against Banshees without getting your stuff sniped. It's like Mutalisks, and you just need stalkers. You need stalkers to be defensive. You need Blink to be defensive. You need that kind of mobility to be defensive. And it looks like 5 High Templars are currently out, but they only have 5, they only have 5 storms right now. Actually, no, they have a little bit more than 5. But it's still not that many storms, and that is a crap ton of Banshees. It looks like a lot of feedbacks are going down on the army, but it's not going to do a whole lot. And, whoa, these Banshees don't have any backup at all, and even though they do manage to snipe the Nexus, which is pretty major, I mean, you know, you just lost a lot of your army in Banshees, and Banshees are not cheap units. I can tell you that straight up. Banshee's not cheap, and all these probes can kind of just transfer to the 3rd base, and he won't lose that much economy. Now, of course, the Terran player has kind of just started taking the map at this point, which is going to give him advantage. Definitely an advantage. I mean, this game is a pretty far takeaway lead for the Terran player, but it's really coming down a little bit closer than I would even feel comfortable with. And I'm a gold player. I usually win games very, very closely. I am not that good at this game. I just like to yell about it a lot. And there we do have the engagement coming in, and oh, some nice storms going down on the Banshees. The Banshees not doing the dodging job that they need to. And oh my god, the Zealots! And this, kids, is why you need to not lose all of your Banshees. Because if he had those Banshees, he would have been able to snipe off all the stalkers. He would have been able to win the game. But one good engagement like that, and you see an utter turnaround on this game. And even then, I'm not sure if he'll be able to close this out as the Protoss player. It's still definitely going to be on the sketchy side of life. But with a couple of Archons and some more good engagements, I think he definitely has put himself back into this game. Of course, throwing his entire army away, not the most useful thing he could have done. I mean, what? Did, Kimbob? Kimbob, the game wasn't over. I mean, the bank was pretty close. I mean, you did kind of just throw your army away like a fool when you could have just beaten him in the mid-ground and then pulled back. But the game wasn't over yet. Plenty of stalkers. I mean, you could have reproduced a lot of those observers by the time the next wave came. And, yeah. Alright. I guess that's game over. I mean, Omnipotent's still at a lead by a base, but I wouldn't call it devastating. All right, you know what? Whatever. Screw it. YOLO. I'm just going to go with it. So anyway, guys, this is Boisterous. And if you want to check out any of my other games, you can head over to youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2. Also, if you would like your games commentated, you can send them into boisteroussc2@gmail.com. Be sure to wish me luck in the Underrated Gaming League. And, yeah, I hope I get picked by them to be a commentator. I could use it. I want commentary. Yeah. All right, so anyway, guys, this is Boisterous signing out.